So when I first entered crypto, I found it a bit intimidating and, even scary. But then a platform called Binance filled that gap for me because of the educational content I found on the platform. And then that made crypto more approachable for me. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joy Jo. I'm a Web3 content strategist, a storyteller, and a content creator. I will be sharing in today's video how you can develop a content strategy for a Web3 brand. And at the end of this video, you'll be getting a free template for you to start. Yes, it's free. You heard that. So watch the video to the end and get access to the template. As a marketer in this industry, if you don't have a template that you use and you have to scratch your head for every time you need to create content, you will not be consistent. So what is a content strategy? First, we're going to define what a strategy is. A strategy is not just a list of tasks or calendar of posts. Most people might feel like, oh, once I have a content calendar, I have a strategy. No. A strategy is a deliberate plan that connects your goals to the actions you take based on a clear understanding of your new environment, audience, and competitive landscape. And you also have a clear understanding on the environment. In Web3, you are aware of the market, you are aware of the market context, of the niche where your product falls under. Let's say you're building a DeFi protocol. DeFi.app is an actual protocol. It's an actual DeFi protocol. Without a strategy, you probably just post a meme about Ethereum or post a meme about DeFi, drop a random blog post on article on X about why DeFi is the future, host a Twitter space about yield farming and staking and all of that. I mean, that's without strategy. But with strategy, you would actually know who your audience is. Your audience are retail investors that falls under the ages of 18 to 24, 24 to 35. And you would target them on TikTok and another platform where they spend time, and on X as well. And DJs on X that would appreciate gasless trading transactions. You'll be addressing complexity of DeFi to the retail investors, making it easier to use, as that's what DeFi.app actually did. In essence, a content marketing strategy is a structured approach to who you want to reach, who is your audience, to what you want to communicate, what is the value you're giving to them, what's the narrative, where will you show up, right? The channels, X, Reddit, Discord, TikTok, where will you be showing up, how you will deliver it, what format, the videos, the blog. It's not about random blog posts and threads or videos. It's about designing a system of content that moves people from awareness, interest, trust, and action. So what are the foundations of a Web3 content marketing strategy? So we're going to start with the brand story, and this is the brand story framework. This would help you conceptualize your brand. People relate more when they hear stories and they remember stories. If your brand doesn't have a story as a Web3 project, that could be an issue. So we have the framework of a brand story broken down right here, which is your origin and purpose, which means basically why you exist, what are the problems that they face. Your brand will be the solution, and you're going to figure out how you guide them from there. Value proposition, right? What change are you delivering to them? So DeFi's.app value proposition was making DeFi easy to use and easy to access. You don't have to figure out how to navigate complex user interfaces. So we're going to use this case study for this brand called Drawmint. It's a real-world assets tokenization platform. And what that means is that they take physical assets like a car and then turn it into digital tokens that can be tradable on the blockchain. So in this case, in this brand story framework, RWAs are too complex and gated by TradFi institutions. To invest in these RWAs, in these real-world assets, is quite expensive for the average investor. And there's a lot of volatility in DeFi as well. So Drawmint positions itself as a middle ground for everyday investors who want safe, stable, predictable returns, but don't understand DeFi. And also they serve small business owners seeking fairer funding. So this is their brand story. Now we're going to talk about positioning, who you are. So product context. What category do you play in? For instance, dual means is playing in the real world asset tokenization category. Brand identity, your values, your tone, your core beliefs. What is the market context? Where do you sit versus the broader ecosystem? So an example is Dual Mint is an out-of-way platform that tokenizes boring everyday assets like laundromats, AC units, positioned against volatile DeFi yields. So one of the first things you should do when you're crafting a content strategy is to have a goal, right? Your goal has to directly influence and help the business goals. The goal could be onboard 10,000 retail investors onto our platform, and also you're going to have a roadmap and milestones. Now let's talk about market research. Market research has to do with your competitors, your audience research, your differentiating factor. Using the case study, the competitors of the Dual Mint brand is Goldfinch, Institutional RWAs, and Centrifuge Complex Infra. And for the audience, retail investors, people that don't like risks like the degens, they are curious about on-chain, but they feel intimidated. So Dual Mint makes this easier for them to invest in by making it safe, low barrier to entry, accessible language, and memorable branding. Now we have come to the part where you have your content pillars. So what are your content pillars? They are topics that you create content around. So you could have your narrative pillar, the education pillar, community pillar, proof pillar, case studies of how laundromats, AC units, and whatever assets they tokenize generate consistent yield. Basically, you have to show people proof. The idea is that every content type links back to a content pillar, which brings about that reiterates the brand story and also reiterates the positioning. Another key foundation of a Web3 content strategy is the content ecosystem, aka the formats that work. Short form videos on TikTok, Reels, Shorts, community first content like memes, posts, storytelling threads, narrative driven newsletters, partnership podcasts and AMAs, interactive dashboards, real time yield camp. So these are the formats that work in the Web3 ecosystem in 2025. Right now, we are moving to the third part of the content strategy, which is your content funnel. In marketing, there's generally what you call a marketing funnel. So as a content person, you're also supposed to have your own mini funnel as content that will outline the role your content plays at each part of the marketing funnel. And here we are talking about the top of the funnel, which has to do with awareness. Here it has to do with like posting educational articles on social media posts, videos, infographics, market overviews to attract people and to build that awareness, to build awareness for your brand. For example, you could post a meme: why everyone chases dividend tokens, we are buying laundromats, right? To re-emphasize the boring idea behind Dual Mint, which is a use case study for today's discussion. And then you also have your middle of funnel, which is the consideration stage, right? Here you have the product pages, case studies and testimonials, white papers and guides. Finally, we have a campaign sample, which the title of this campaign is Boring is Beautiful, which is taken from a case study of the brand we are discussing here. Now you have everything outlined here, how it all comes together. You have your audience. For this brand, it's real retail investors within 24 to 45 years of age. Their pain points is crypto is too volatile, complex, and filled with jargon. So this is how it's all broken down together. And then from here, you can craft a content calendar. If you have gotten to this part of this video, I have designed a free content marketing template for you that covers in details how to go about planning this content strategy in a practical way. It's a content template and you can get it with the link in the description. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment below. See you in the next video.